रोहित तो भी आए थे, ईशान वो भी आ गए थे शाम साउथ से। डॉक्टर शशांक साहू आ गए हैं, मुझे दिखे थे वो, लेकिन मेरे अभी रूम तक पहुंचे नहीं है। देखना फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे ही नहीं सर, आईटी के लिए गए हैं आज।
मेरा पता नहीं पड़ा, मैं जा रहा हूँ।
उनका लंच टाइम
Everyone, please ensure that you have updated PPT with the slide response sheet. Okay? Response sheet. Author to the paper ID 249 is there. Sir, your respected session chairs and dear authors, a very good morning and a warm welcome to the second international conference on computational intelligence, communication technology and networking, CICTN 2025, technically co-sponsored by IEEE UP Section India, organized by Department of Computer Science and Engineering, ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. On this auspicious occasion, I, Shreya Pandey, take the privilege to wholehearted welcome our session chair, Dr. Rohit Vasist sir, Kite Group of Institution, Ghaziabad, and Dr. Shashank Sahu, Ajay Kumar Garg, Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Let me take the privilege to introduce our first session chair, Dr. Rohit Vasist sir. Dr. Rohit Vasist sir is working as an assistant professor in Department of CSIT at Kite Group of Institution, Ghaziabad, and Uttar Pradesh. He has completed his BTech from Ajay Kumar Garg and MTech from USICT, GGS IPU, and Delhi. He is university topper in both BTech and MTech from his batch. He has completed his PhD from Jamia Millia Islamia, Central University, New Delhi, India. His area of interest includes machine learning, sentimental analysis, software reliability, and cloud computing. He has teaching experience of 7 years. He is NPTEL certified for subject compiler design, operating system, discrete mathematics, and software testing by NPTEL. He has good number of publications in reputed international conferences and journals. He has published 3 Indian patent too, and an international design patent titled AI-based device for testing alcohol blends. He has granted to him. He has published many scopus index book chapter 2. He contributed as a reviewer and session chair in many international conferences organized by IEEE. He is also a reviewer of reputed journals like SN Computer Science, International Journal of Computing and Design Systems, International Journal of Computer and Application. He has guided more than 30 BTech projects and publications and patent as their outcomes.
You start the session.
So, it's our pleasure to welcome you all session Computational Science and Engineering at CICTN 2025. I request Ms. Shweta Roy ma'am to kindly present the sapling to Dr. Rohit Vasist as a token of our respect and appreciation. Let's welcome our guests with a big round of applause. We have an exciting lineup of presentations that promise to spark meaningful discussion and inspire new ideas. I encourage all of you to engage actively, ask questions, and make the most of this knowledge sharing platform. Author with the paper ID 249, 323, 104, 220, 400, and 834 will be presenting their presentation in this track. Each presentation will be of 15-minute duration, where 10 minutes are allotted for your content presentation. There will be a buzzer after 8 minutes and 5 minutes for question and answer session. Now, I would like to invite author with the paper ID 223, titled Machine Learning Approaches to Access Heart Attack Risk After COVID-19, to come up on stage.
343.
Yes.
249.
So please come. Your research paper currently is not available. So when you come, we will call you. Okay? Yes. Yes. So please
Okay, so first of all, good morning to all dignitaries who are sitting here as well as the students. I am Gaurav Chaturvedi, research scholar in Graphic Era Deemed University. My paper title is Machine Learning Approaches to Assess Heart Attack Risk After COVID-19. What I have done so far, I just have used three models. As you know that COVID-19 has been spread in the year of 2019. And at this time, researchers and doctors are just paying close attention to get the relationship between, you can say, the COVID-19 and the impact of COVID, post-pandemic COVID-19. As you know that the cardiovascular disease is one of the important disease which most of the, you can say, people have suffered after the COVID-19. So this is the topic I just have picked. I just want to give you the kind of trust that I have shown in this paper. I just have picked three models: logistic regression, support vector machine, and the combination of regression plus support vector machine, that is, you can say, the SVR, support vector regression. Later on, I will discuss each model, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages of each and every model, and why have I picked SVR. Okay, so these are the, this is the introduction. You know that COVID-19 has generated a very devastating effects around the world. And right now, the researcher and doctors are paying the close attention to get the relationship between the cardiovascular effect and the COVID-19 disease. So, although we know that the acute phase of the COVID-19 has been passed away, but the most important thing is we just have to figure out what are the post-pandemic implications of this disease, especially on those people who are having the heart attacks or who are having the heart disease right now. Just next. Okay, so this is the background knowledge we have just. I just have picked it. As you know that in American U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, out of 1,000 patients, 10 patients in 1,000 people are suffering heart diseases, and that is basically why it is happening. Suppose 1,000 people have suffered with cardiovascular with COVID-19, severe COVID-19. So after the occurrence of COVID-19, so out of 1,000 people, 10 people approximately have some kind of, you can say, the heart attack symptoms. Next one. Okay, so yes, you know that machine learning is one of the growing field, and AI. With the help of AI, we can just create the intelligent applications. But whatever intelligent applications we are trying to create, obviously it will just need a huge volume of data. So from which sources we are getting the huge volume of data? There are, you can say, medical diagnosis. Next, in medical diagnosis, yes, in medical diagnosis, if we are just using the AI in medical diagnosis, we can just predict, you can say, the
this graphical part come to the methodology or the comparative study that you have done in this.
This is methodology. First one, I just have picked one data set, and data have been collected. Then, after collecting the data, I just have segregated the data into training set and testing set, approximately 80-20%. This is the threshold I have taken. 80 is for training set and 20 is for testing set. So then I just have picked three models: LR, SVM, and SVR. Logistic regression. You know that logistic regression is supervised machine learning technique. And what is the impact of using LR? Basically, it is just creating the relationship between the variables. So logistic regression we have picked, but it is one of the drawbacks. Suppose we just want to solve the overfitting issue. Overfitting means some of the models are just basically trying to solve perfectly well on training data, but some of the models are not perfectly well on, you can say, unseen data. So to solve that problems, we are using various validation techniques that I have used. Model selection, I just have picked three models: LR, SVM, and SVR. Then we are just training the model, each model on training set. 80% I have taken for training data. cross-validation, as you know that it is one of the tuning technique. There are various type of cross-validation technique, K-fold cross-validation, stratified cross-validation. So cross-validation, with the help of cross-validation, we are just optimizing the performance of our model. And if I am saying we are optimizing the performance of our model, it means what? Basically, we are just, you can say, adjusting the hyperparameters. And why we are adjusting the hyperparameter? Because we just have to optimize the performance of our model on unseen data. That's why I just have used this cross-validation to get the maximum output from our model performance. So after the comparison of three models, LR, SVM and SVR, we just have to figure out which model is working well. Then we are just testing each and every model, LR, SVM and SVR on 20% data, and then we are checking the accuracy. Next. This is the pseudocode. The same thing I just have elaborated. I just have drafted in algorithm or pseudocode, you can say. I just have picked one data set, divide that data set into training and testing 80-20%. Then I just have picked three models, LR, SVM and SVR. And SVM basically is used to create the kind of hyperplane where we are just classifying the data points. Right? So basically you can say SVM is a kind of classification as well as regression technique. But when we are combining SVM and LR, we just can create a hybrid model that is SVR. Next. This is the results that I have got in logistic regression. The accuracy is 88.33%. In support vector machine, again support vector machine is one of the supervised learning algorithms. Why am I using support vector machine? Because it is a classification algorithm. It basically divides the data points into two classes, and those data points will be well fitted in between in the hyperplane. So but there is one drawback of support vector machine. What is the drawback? It is, you can say, the computationally expensive. When we are trying to optimize the model performance, or when we are trying to calculate the model performance, if we are doing this thing using SVM, so it is computationally expensive and it is basically difficult to tune. And cross-validation, you can say, it is the kind of tuning tactics. K-fold we are using, stratified fold we are using. So it is difficult to train. It is, you can say, memory intensive. It is computationally expensive. So that's why I just have used this one. This is, you can say, the combination of regression and SVM. This is, you can say, the hybrid approach. So again, you can say it is the variation of SVM. SVR is, you can say, it is a variation of support vector machine. So again, it is used for classification as well as the regression purpose. But what is the advantage of using this SVR? SVR basically, you can say, again, it is creating a hyperplane, but it is, you can say, minimizing the loss. Suppose there is a, you can say, predictor value and you can say observed value, and the prediction, and there is so much difference between the predictor value and observed value. So with the help of loss functions, we can minimize it. So that is the beauty of this SVR. And again, F1 is for precision recall. These are the three evaluation matrix parameters we have taken. You know that F1 is basically, it is harmonic mean of precision and recall. So these are, you can say, the kind of evaluation matrix we can just call it for accuracy purpose. Yes, next. So if you just look at the graph, on the left hand side, logistic regression is showing 88.33% result. SVM is showing slightly better, 90.49, and on the right hand side, SVR basically outperform the result of LR and SVM, that is 93.33%. So SVR. Next. Yeah, there is one, you can say, the kind of limitation of this task. Future scope. What am I trying to do? I am just trying to use some of the, you can say, hybrid deep learning models, because LR, SVM and SVR, these are the models of machine learning. So what is one of the limitation of my task is the informations are continuously updating. So all the updated informations. So what am I trying to achieve in the future? All the updated informations I will encapsulate in my model, and those things will be helped with the help of deep learning technique. That is what in the future I am going to use autoencoder, LSTM, you can say, ResNet, VGG. There are a lot of deep learning techniques that we can just work on time forecasting data. The information that is continuously updating, I will pick those information and populate those information in my model and then again check the performance of my model. That's it. Thank you very much.
Can you brief about the data set that have used for the experimental analysis?
Sir, the data set, the data set is comprising, you can say, the kind of attributes like age, like the person who have addiction of smoke. You can say that if the person is having some kind of heart disease, there are various environmental factors which lies. How much exercise a person just does on daily basis. So age is one of the factor, right? Gender is one of the factor, and smoking habit is one of the factor.
So which pre-processing technique you have used to extract out the most prominent features that will lead to the more accurate outcomes in the end?
Which
extraction you have done in the pre-processing or not?
Data extraction, feature selection.
Yeah.
Feature selection. So feature selection basically, yes, I have picked principal component analysis. Basically, feature extraction basically is done with the help of, again, simple, with the help of SVM. I just have done it. Support vector machine.
Thank you.
So we are asking for whenever we apply different models. So there is some predefined attributes to applying model. So when we take a data set, it must be analyzed, pre-processed, which type of model will fit. So you have applied many models.
LR, SVM.
Maybe the data set, if you explore the data set, may some of the models may not be suitable. So this analysis is also very important before applying any model.
Wैसे normalization, redundancy, remove. There are normalization techniques.
These are the generic ones.
Generic.
These to impact out the final outcome, you should be very conscious about the feature extraction. That will lead to better results because the previous techniques you are getting 88 and 19.49 and the hybrid approach is giving 93. So it is not so high. There is no huge
But it is slightly better than
So
LR.
comparative result is there. Na?
Yeah.
We can't say that the hybrid approach is giving a very supremacy result.
Analysis of data set is
Yeah, yes. So that's why I have used one of the important techniques, that is SVM, because SVM is again it is creating the hyperplane and classifying the data points in two classes. So with the help of SVM, you can say we can also perform the classification as well as the regression task to get the relationship between the variables.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, dear author, for sharing your research work. Now, let me take the privilege to introduce our first session chair, Dr. Shashank Shahu. Dr. Shashank Shahu is working as professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Ajay Kumar Engineering College, Ghaziabad. He is BTech, MTech, and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering disciplines. He has published more than 55 research papers in national and international journals and conferences. He has also published patent and books chapters. He is professional member of IEEE. He has guided more than 12 dissertations and 1 PhD student. Now I request Ms. Shweta ma'am to kindly present the sapling to Dr. Shashank Shahu sir as a token of our respect and appreciation. Let's welcome our guests with a big round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite author with the paper ID 249 titled An Analysis of Deep Learning Algorithm for Detection of Pulmonary Illness to come up on stage to start with their presentation. Sir, I will have your opinion.
this is the serious issue that is based on the lung disease. The very type of disease that is based on the pulmonary disease like the TB, lung cancer, lung disease, respiratory disease, and so on. Lung basically the main category of the pulmonary disease that is the lung disease, pneumonia, TB, and the various type of the COPD like disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And in this paper we will represent the analysis of the lung disease and the pulmonary disease. The topic, the sequence of the topic that is perfectly described of the abstract. After that we discuss about the introduction part. After that we discuss about the methodology, and after that we discuss the result data set that uses this paper. So first we discuss about the abstract. Basically, pulmonary disease, this is significantly impact and global health. That way, acquiring fast and accurate diagnosis methods. This study represents a deep learning approach using the CNN and the ResNet model to detect the pulmonary disease. We collected the data set that is ImageNet and some CT scan data set, and the source of the data set is Kaggle, as well as the data set that is collected from the Cepi hospital. My HR is working in this hospital. And to identify the pulmonary disease from the medical images and with high accuracy. The review of existing research paper highlight the gap, challenges, and future directions. So first we discuss about the briefly introduction part about the pulmonary disease. Basically, there are lung disease, TB, COPD disease. This is the most widely used example of pulmonary disease. We provided a unique method to identify the pulmonary illness for medical imaging using the deep learning algorithm. We offer
This is kind of a survey paper on the particular topic.
Yes.
So come to the research gaps that we have find from the thorough literature.
okay. Basically, we study there are various type of the research paper. This is based on the medical imaging, X-ray, CT scans, and we also downloaded the image. That the name of the data set is the image net. It is in the approximately 10,000 number of the data, but we use only 12,000 data from this. This data is based on the different age group, means age more than 60, 40 to 60, and age is 22. After that, some images from the children, means the age group get 10 years. Then it is different from the type of the disease.
I am asking that is there any slide that summarizes the research gaps that you have find out from the literature survey of the papers? Any slide is there of research gaps?
Basically, in this paper,
You have done the analysis of the deep learning algorithms, no?
Yes.
So you have given a table of various techniques, so there will be a shortcomings of each technique that will lead to a future direction. So is there any slide that is depicting the research gaps?
basically, this is not using slides, but in paper.
What is the concluding slide? Come to the concluding slide.
This is the performance metrics.
रिजल्ट्स आप लिख दें बैक रिजल्ट्स के आप क्लिक करते हैं
Basically, our study shows the promising result in detecting the lung disease using the deep learning. And the methodology we use in deep learning, this is the ResNet algorithm. This is based on the image data set. Most of the data set is images based on the lung images and like so.
Next, इसमें क्या है ये बात है ये जो 92%, 82%.
Basically, we have different parameters, means accuracy, precision, recall, and accuracy score. In which means in previous used models, the accuracy is about 90%, 81%, and about 91%. But our model, this is based on the ResNet, that gives the accuracy about the 92%.
Out of these three parameters, which parameters used to reduce or measure the false positive cases?
Basically,
False positive.
First, there are different parameters, means true positive, true negative, false positive, and false negative.
I am asking which parameters used to measure the false positive cases?
Basically, we use the recall. Basically, when we use precision, the result is about 89%. But when we use the recall value and FR score, the result will vary between 93% to 94%. So we conclude about the recall value in comparison to the precision and accuracy.
I think you started the paper as a review paper.
Analysis.
But at the end you are talking about you have been.
Basically, we are also implementation. We want to show.
Less has been discussed regarding your implementation. That you are planning the paper or whenever you are presenting the implementation, give the full detail for this.
Okay.
Because paper is showing only the review paper,
But we also implement the serial model and assemble with the ResNet model to include the
Thank you, Doctor, for sharing your research scope. Now I would like to invite author with the paper ID 400 to come up on stage to start with their presentation. Please start.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Saurabh, and our topic is Deepfake advanced technologies for Deepfake technology, evolution, challenges, and innovation. Our main work is upon the Deepfake technology, that how it works and how it creates fake images of other persons. Generally, we use 10,000 synthetic data to make. Can I speak?
Which you are talking? Yes.
हम 10,000 लोगों का डेटा मतलब 10,000 डेटा इस्तेमाल करते हैं ताकि उससे हम एक फेक डेटा बना सकते जो रियल जैसा दिखेगा. तो इसके लिए हम AI टेक्निक्स यूज करते हैं, जैसे GAN हो गया, CNN टेक्निक्स होगी. तो ये क्या करता है, मतलब कई सारे टेक्निक वो इमेजेस यूज करता है. एक मतलब इतने सारे होते हैं कि इससे हमें चीजें छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स पे वो करता है ना, कंसंट्रेट करता है, जिससे हमें पता नहीं चल पाता कि क्या फेक है और क्या रियल है. तो इसलिए हम इस पे जो कैसे डिटेक्ट कर सकें कौन सा रियल है कौन सा फेक है, उस पे हमने काम करा है. इस पे हमने जो हमारा जो मेन टॉपिक रहा है वो हाइब्रिड न्यूरल नेटवर्क रहा है, जिससे हमें एक्यूरेसी जो मिली है वो 94.3% एक्यूरेसी मिली है, जिससे हम डिटेक्ट कर पाए कि हमारा कौन सा डेटा जो कौन सा मतलब इमेज रियल है और कौन सी फेक है. जैसे हमारा AI ग्रोथ है, जनरेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी, इसका इंट्रोडक्शन जो मैंने बताया कि जैसे ये जो है इंट्रोडक्शन में AI यूज करते हैं ठीक है, ये वेरी एडवांस एआई होता है। और इसके अलावा ये मतलब इसका यूज करते हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी में, चाइल्ड एक्सप्लॉयटेशन में और ब्लैकमेलिंग वगैरह में, जिससे कि मतलब कई सारे इमेजेस बनाने थे। और जो मल्टी मॉडल फ्रेमवर्क्स डेवलप करें जिसके लिए, और मशीन लर्निंग यूज करिए इसके डिटेक्शन के लिए। जैसे कि हमने एग्जांपल देखे जो हमारा भी रिसेंटली रश्मिका का वो आया था, वीडियो आया था, उसमें आपने देखा होगा कि जो वीडियो थी वो किसी और की थी, लेकिन उसका जो फेस था वो रश्मिका का था। तो ऐसे मतलब कई सारे सेलिब्रिटीज के जो है फेस पे स्वैप कर देते हैं, जिसकी हमें एक्चुअल नहीं पता चल पाता, जिससे उनकी जो वो है इमेज है वो खराब हो जाती है। ये हमने कई सारे पुराने पेपर लिए हैं, जिसके जैसे हमने लॉन्ग नेटली का देखा, तो ये मतलब मल्टी मॉडल वो करा है, डिजाइन करा है, लेकिन ये इनका जो वो है प्रोसेसिंग वगैरह सही से नहीं कर पाए। जैसे हमारा और नेक्स्ट जो है ब्लॉकचेन इनेबल्ड डीफेक वेरिफिकेशन मैकेनिज्म है, जिसमें इन्होंने डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड फ्रेमवर्क यूजिंग करा है मशीन लर्निंग और ब्लॉकचेन की।
Can you mention the two major findings from these papers? Two major findings, दो main observation जो आपको पता चली हो जब आपने लिटरेचर सर्वे करा।
सर एक तो ये है कि मतलब ये जो इनकी एक्यूरेसी परसेंटेज है ये कम मतलब कम वो कर पाए, एनालाइज कर पाए है इनकी मतलब
एक्यूरेसी कम।
हाँ एक्यूरेसी कम है।
क्या
इनकी सर जो पहले है वो लगभग 40-50 अप्रॉक्स रही है, तो इससे कि मतलब एक्चुअल पता नहीं चल पाता कि कौन सा सही है कौन सा गलत है, मतलब इन शॉर्ट हम वो कैच नहीं कर पाते, पकड़ नहीं पाते हैं।
दूसरी दूसरी तो ये पूछी ना, दूसरे प्रेसाइसी का
दूसरा सर कि ये है कि मतलब लार्ज डेटा सेट नहीं मिल पाया, मतलब जो लार्ज डेटा सेट होते हैं ना उसको ढंग से एनालाइज नहीं
लार्ज डेटा सेट
ढंग से एनालाइज नहीं कर पाया
दो डेटा।
तो जो हमारा जो नया वो टेक्नोलॉजी है जो हमारा वो लार्ज डेटा सेट को आसानी से एनालाइज कर पाता है, जिसकी वजह से हमें ज़्यादा एक्यूरेसी मिल पाती है। ठीक है, और ये हमारे रिसर्च गैप्स है कि हमारे जो है क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म जो हमारा वो है डीफेक है वो काम नहीं कर पाता है, तो इसलिए हमने जो हमारी जो एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी आई है वो क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी इजीली काम कर सकती है डिटेक्ट करने के लिए। ठीक है, और नैरो डाटा सेट है, मतलब जो कम से कम जो बिल्कुल जो मतलब बहुत जो कैच करने में भी काम वो पकड़ में भी नहीं आते ना, तो उसको भी हम इजीली इसमें वो कर सकते हैं, वो कर कैच कर सकते हैं मॉडल से। और इसमें जो
Come to your proposed model, the model that you have proposed, model पर आइए जो आपने मॉडल प्रपोज करा। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड।
ये हमारा हाइब्रिड वो है, हाइब्रिड डिटेक्शन मॉडल है, जिसमें हमारा जो पहला है हम मतलब अलग अलग वेरियस डेटा सोर्सेज से हम अपना डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं, उसके बाद हम इसे 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर देते हैं, जिसमें हमारा पब्लिक रहता है, फिर हमारा यूजर रहता है, जिसके बाद फिर हम इससे प्री प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद हम इसको मेटा डेटा और अलग एक डेटा से और कर देते हैं जो हमारा होता है एंड आर्टिफैक्ट डेटा। फिर उसको हम इसको जो है फर्दर मशीन लर्निंग के द्वारा मतलब अलग अलग पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर देते हैं, उसको मशीन लर्निंग से सेपरेट करते हैं, और ऐसे फिर हमारा जो है वो अलग अलग डेटा में वेरीफाई हो जाता है और लास्ट में हमें रिजल्ट मिल जाता है। और हमने इस पे फिर कुछ वो एनालिसिस करी है, तो हमारा नेक्स्ट उसमें स्लाइड है जिसमें हमें ओवरऑल 94.3% मिली है, जिसमें हमारा 3-4 तरीके के वो करेंगे। एक नेक्स्ट स्लाइड ये डीफेक डिटेक्शन मॉडल है, जिसमें हमारा ट्रेडिशनल सीएनएन में जो हमारी परसेंटेज आई है डीफेक डिटेक्शन वो 83% है, और प्रपोज हाइब्रिड में हमारी 91% का वो मिला है, एक्यूरेसी मिली है। ठीक है, एडवांस हाइब्रिड में हमें 96% की वो मिली है। ये हमारा सबसे जो एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी जिसमें हमें सबसे ज़्यादा एक्यूरेसी मिली है। और ऐसे हमारा ट्रेडिशनल और हाइब्रिड
आपने जो प्रपोज करा है that is the third one proposed hybrid, और all 4 of these are existing ones। ये सब इसी के मॉडल्स हैं बने हुए या आपका भी इसमें से कोई एक है मॉडल?
ये सर हमारा जो हमने अपना काम करा वो हाइब्रिड भी करा है।
ये प्रपोज हाइब्रिड आपके वाला है।
यस सर, 94% और ये जो हमारा वो दूसरा मॉडल है वो हमारी वो शो करता है, रिजल्ट शो करता है कि
So
वो
as per the this paragraph, proposed hybrid is underperforming than this advanced hybrid.
यस सर। और जो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल है वो सबसे कम एक्यूरेसी देता है 83.3%। ओके, तो जो हमारा कंक्लूजन आया वो हमारे ये आया है कि मतलब जो हमें और भी मतलब जो डेटा है उसको और ढंग से एनालाइज करें, डाटा को और ढंग से नैरो करें ताकि हमारी जो एक्यूरेसी है वो और बढ़ सके। जो हमारा फ्यूचर रिसर्च हो सकता है वो हम ब्लॉकचेन को यूज कर सकते हैं ताकि उससे हमें और ज़्यादा एक्यूरेसी मिले, और मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग ये सब यूज कर सकते हैं ताकि हमारी मतलब डिटेक्शन में और ज़्यादा वो हो। डीपफेक फ्रेमवर्क यूज कर सकते हैं और साइबर सिक्योरिटी वगैरह के टेक्निक्स यूज कर सकते हैं जिससे हम थोड़ी मतलब नॉलेज भी दे सकते हैं ताकि लोग अपने आप को थोड़ा वो सेफ रखें। ये सब ये हमारे रेफरेंसेस हैं जो हमने पेपर यूज करा।
कौन से ईयर के स्टूडेंट हो बेटा?
सर मैं सेकंड ईयर में।
वेरी गुड।
थैंक यू सर।
Now, author with the paper ID 104, 220, and 834 is absent, right? Okay. 34.
We are not present.
834 absent.
Yes. So 220, 104, and 834.
220 भी absent है.
CA number 3, 4 and 6.
Yes.
These are absent.
We now come to an important part of our event, the certificate distribution ceremony. This is a moment to recognize and appreciate the efforts and contribution of our participants. I request Dr. Rohit Vasis sir and Dr. Shashank Sahu sir to kindly join us in distribution the certificate. Let's begin the distribution and celebrate the dedication and achievements of our participants. And please join us. Author, with the paper ID 249, please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Thank you, sir. Now, author with the paper ID 323, please come on stage for receiving their certificate.
आप आइए लो वसीस
Thank you, sir. Now, author with the paper ID 400, please come on stage for receiving their certificate.
Final year तक भी और लिखने हैं।
बहुत बढ़िया सेकेंडरी
अच्छा initiative है
आपने अच्छा initiative लिया.
The second year student बहुत अच्छा कर।
Congratulations to all. Let's give them a big round of applause.
अच्छा presentation था, जिन्होंने presentation किया, good presentation, research to them for future and they write more papers in coming conferences.
सर 10 मिनट का ब्रेक ले लेते हैं।
हाँ।
स्टार्ट करा दें।
आगे आ-
Good, ma'am.
that is what kind of negative intent will be there. For example, negative sentiments. Like we will use some words in our paper that is boss, hate, disappointed, which can be considered as negative intent. Other is complaint or criticism, to make any complaint or to criticize any person on that post is again inappropriate content. Another is aggressive language. We will use some aggressive words in our post that will harm some people's feelings and emotions. Next one is sarcasm comments, call of action, the post having words boycott, right, and sue, avoid something. And next one is this content on grievance. For example, we are posting something and we are imposing our words that this is not fair, right? So that will also considered as a negative intent on that post. Next slide, please. Can you please one more slide? Actually, it is repeating. Okay. So there are some challenges to. First one is find the context, a nuisance. Then cultural and regional variability. For example, some words, some slangs are considered as appropriate in some regions, but that will be inappropriate for some other region. Right. Next one is emotion and intent. Like somebody saying, "I don't like this." Right. But that will be, it's like a normal post for that person, but it will harm the feelings of some other person. Then use of negations, like "I don't want this," "You have to this," "You did not do this," "You do this," like this. Next, please. So basically, let's talk about the basic background knowledge, that is NLP, natural language processing, in which we'll try to use AI and computer and to understand some other languages. So for example, natural language is a field within AI that focuses on how computer interact with humans. Right? So basically, it will focus on sentiment analysis. It will extract the post and try to find the sentiment, what kind of sentiment is there in that post. So basically, it is combine the AI portion, okay, and computer science, and using these two combinations.
Please, this vertical part come to the methodology or the proposed note that you have done in this particular.
Okay, please next slide. So basically, the literature review, which is I have mentioned that a lot of many papers are there, lot of work is there. So basically, I have just gone through the literature review. For example, some posts are identifying negative sentiment in Hindi. Yeah. So I have go through these papers, right? Find the result of these papers, compare them, and based on that comparison, I have put some results. Okay. Next slide, please. We are able. Right, like this. So basically, some paper is Hindi, English language, right, which is use the technology objective is to analyze the sentiments, and they have used tweets, posts as a data set, and using approaches like SPM, they have find the result. That is that Hindi to English, there is a employment factor is 0.569 and other one is 0.526. Right. Some people have done the research in Hindi English post, that is using Facebook post as a data set and using ABES approach, and the comparison is there. Next one in another paper is there. So basically, in this my paper, I have compared different approaches or different models that is used for that language, and at end I have compared this, and I will try to that is my next paper. I will try to move one more model, create one more model which will give more accuracy than the existing.
Can you mention the major findings or research gaps in this particular field that you
Yeah, so the main research gap is the accuracy, right? That somebody is using nail-based, someone is using SPM, someone is using the another approach, and the accuracy factor, accuracy percentage will not that much accurate. For example, in some it will approx 88%. In some it is 70s. So I will reading all that, find to implement a model which will be more accurate than the existing one. So this is my next research goal for my PhD.
What was the last? What was the accuracy? Minimum accuracy?
Sir, it is different. Using for different model, it is different.
What was the maximum?
So it's approx 80 to 90.
That you will improve.
Yeah, I will try to implement. The basic aim is to find or develop a model available which will give more than the existing one in Hindi post. Next. So result ही है इसमें आप भी discuss कर सकते हो. This is the conclusion, and next. These are some references. So basically it's a review.
I think it's important for media information system to save information and contain this. So this work has been done by students once a month, around the month. So maybe coming to the information and another part. So various like systems are available to which we go for movies like my show and other websites and other apps are also available. So the approach is like the person who is moving any specific type of movies, like the person is preferring the comedy movies or the person is preferring some action movies. On the basis of his or her choice, we are proposing a recommendation model. And this project will help them to choose the movies according to their own choice. Please come,
Methodology.
So we have used some pre-existing data sets like Netflix and MovieLens, and in this we have approved this. We have used collaborative filtering and competitive filtering. So by using these two approaches, we have developed one approach that is a hybrid model. On this basis, we have developed a project, and please come to the next one, implementation. So these steps we have used to develop our hybrid model, in which we have done data processing that we have received from Netflix and DataLens and MovieLens applications. We have extracted the features to which we are going to give recommendation, and then we are applying the collaborative technique through which we will present the exact scenario for the specific person, and then we have implemented this model. So it has been developed with the help of Python and the screen that has been developed. Please come to the next one. This is the flow, and the last one. This is the screen of our web page that has been developed. Come to the next one. So this is one of the working model, and we have specifically sent it to patenting authorities for IP registration.
What is the data size on which this model is implemented?
So we have taken data from Netflix data that is available, and MovieLens there is another application. So almost record of 1,000 people were there. So we work on that.
Why don't we user data or data about movie also ratings
No.
very easier or this?
No, our only approach is to get user data, and on the basis of their choice of movies, like anybody was preferring some comedy movies, so we are recommending them. If a movie it is having some comedy, so we are recommending them to that particular
So one question from my side. You just have picked a very good topic, recommender system. Previously, I have worked on it. Basically, there are two important problems: the cold start and data sparsity. So, right, when it comes to the matter of recommending things like movie to the friends. So, have you solved the cold start or data sparsity problems through your project?
See, this has been done by one of my students, so exactly I am not aware that whether he has implemented it or not. But I can think of this question and he will answer it.
Cold start problem is that when we are having less user ratings, so that we have not enough data to train the ML model.
Exactly. When we don't have any historical data.
Yeah.
So, when we are having
That is overcome by the second approach that sir has stated, content based. Yeah. That
I hope
overcome
it is not catered. I hope it is not catered. It is very initial level project. The student is from BC level, so it is not catered there.
Again, the student approach was good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Research work. Now, author with the paper ID 104. Please come on stage to start with your presentation. Sir, please wait. Sir,
Sir, they will be giving
there will be
certificate.
certificates as well
Just
after that.
wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, sir, we will send you.
मैम मैं ले लूँगा सर
ID 104.
Oh, sorry. Traveling since morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Akhilesh Shah. I have come from the African University. My paper presentations, the paper's title is Exploring the Determinants of AI-driven fintech, adoption by Indian farmers for sustainable agrarian economic development. So when talking about the Indian agriculture, or say adoption of fintech in Indian agriculture has been a backbone of Indian economy, like since 1947 when we got independence till today. Still, more than 52% of employment is generated by Indian agrarian economy for Indian context, and still majority of the contribution towards the GDP is done by agrarian sector. But nowadays, as it is farmers are not getting the required facilities, the reason is that they are barriers. Though government is trying to provide with so much facilities, but farmers are not able to reap those benefits which government is actually trying to provide with. The reason is the challenges or say the barriers towards adoption of the technology when it comes to technology. Please move ahead. So this is a method which I had adopted for this paper. Unified theory of acceptance and use of technology model has been extensive for this paper, and these are the variables which have been found from the literature review. These are the variables which actually affect the adoption of technology. Next slide. This is the hypothesized model which I have adopted. SI is social influence and convenience and price target and performance expectation, and what is the effect on the intention to adopt.
These H1, H2 and H3 are the
Hypothesis. Those are the hypotheses. These are the objectives to identify factors influencing fintech adoption by Indian farmers for sustainable agricultural growth, and these are the hypotheses have to be derived to achieve this objective. Next slide, please. This is the research design. Stratified random sampling of 266 farmers from North India, especially from Uttar Pradesh. Two districts of Uttar Pradesh have been collected, and mixed method approach, face-to-face interview or online surveys also have been done, and this is a very good finding. Why? Because this is my PhD topic also. When I wrote the proposal, then I was in this impression and by the literacy review that I had to schedule for the survey collection. I have to go for face-to-face. But while going for the data collection, I realized that nowadays most of the people, even in the rural areas, are also using mobile phone with internet. So through Google form data collection actually became very easy. So this is a finding of this research also. PLS SEM was applied by using smart PLS code. So after applying the PLS, this is the measurement model assessment. All the values came under the threshold value. As we said, the conversion validity was verified by this. Because the CR and Cromwell alpha value are more than 0.7 except these 3. But then the VIF and ABE values were actually under the as per the threshold values. So this model is fit for the further study. Next, please. These are the discriminant validity as per Cornell criterion. So all the values are again falling as per the threshold values. So we could actually use the further study or further analysis to find out the results. So again, these are the determinants of coefficient in defect size, low, moderate, low and low. Model is fit by seeing all these variables. The model is fit for the study.
These are the hypothesis results. All the hypotheses were accepted. That means all the variables somehow affect the intention to adopt the technology. If provided, if government provides the basic facilities to adopt to the farmers, by the farmers. Next, please. So this research basically, this is a discussion of the result. This result basically says that if you talk about social influence or performance expectancy or price value or convenience, even few other factors are also there which are not covered in this research, actually affect the adoption of technology by farmers. The problem is that farmers are still not that much capable to use it on their own. So the AI now plays a very important role. For example, if we have that delimited automated voice in the ATM, then even the other ones who are not educated enough, if that voice is in Hindi, like about one press kare or two press kare, then they are able to do that transaction. Similar, same thing is actually applicable in other areas also. When we talk about the blockchain technology or say precision agriculture, if such facilities are provided by the government in a good manner, the farmers will be able to benefit. So this is the outcome of this. Thank you.
One other question. Just explain the implementation of what all the implementation.
Yeah. These are the implications which actually
I am talking about
implement how government will do. So it had been mentioned in the managerial implications what government can.
You have shown the result in tabular part. Just see the result. Result की slide पर भी इससे पहले की है और इससे पहले की ये जो results आप कैसे देखते हैं?
So ये through ये structural equation model through PLS. PLS is a software through which that is statistical tool. उसके through ये values आएंगे. We had, I mean, data was collected. Then we had a questionnaire. This is actually not shown, but it had been shown in the research paper. That through that questionnaire, data was collected. 5 Likert scale, 1 to 5, agree, disagree, and neutral. That
how many data?
266. 266. And the data was collected from some of the part of Eastern UP, Middle UP, and then Western UP. Because stratified random sampling had been applied as per the crop variety. Because crop variety, it varies from north, from Eastern UP to Western UP. To a very large extent. That's when data had been collected from these different institutions.
Thank you, dear author, for sharing your research work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, again, sir, ma'am, please host in author, the paper ID 104, please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Okay, author with the paper ID 834.
हाँ साइन टोटली कर लो मैंने कर दिया ये आपका
और आपने पेंसिल से की
पेंसिल का
हाँ
लाइन में कर दीजिए नहीं साइन तो मेरे पेंसिल
बेटा इसको पेंसिल
पेंसिल
नहीं ये ब्लैक पेंसिल
अच्छा ब्लैक पेन ही है
इसको पेंसिल इसी के ऊपर ओवरराइट
and 217, 498 representation is distressed. Now, each presentation will be of 15-minute duration, where 10 minutes are allotted for your content presentation. There will be a buzzer at 8 minutes and 5 minutes for question and answer session. Now, I would like to invite author with the paper ID 431 to come on stage to start with their presentation.
Good morning everyone, my name is Neha Arora from LPU and I am here to present my paper on optimized mutual authentication and AES encryption framework for enhanced security in multi-server environments. Basically, this paper combines two algorithms, that is mutual authentication and AES encryption, to improve security of the multi-server environments in which there are several users and there are multi-server cloud connected. And in the results we have seen encryption time is reduced by 25% and authentication time is improved, and also CPU usage time is improved, and also memory efficiency is improved, and attack resistance is also improved by 70%. In this, we have also used dynamic revocation mechanism. Like for example, if there is any attack, such as replay attack or changing name of the file or contents of the file, it will dynamically block the user, which is including such attempt. And here's the introduction. Here we have mentioned that cloud computing basically is used for managing data of organizations, and it is very important to maintain the security of the such computing platforms. Therefore, we have studied a few literature papers in which a lot of key agreement protocols and sharing of key protocols like DH protocols are used, and AES encryption is already used. There is RSA encryption, and there are several symmetric and asymmetric cryptography encryption schemes used for multi-server environments. Here we have made a tabular form of literature review in which few papers we have studied, in which they have used for secure authenticated key management, and they have several pros and cons also. For each of the papers are mentioned here.
Always add the year and the major findings when we are giving this literature, sir. Year and major findings.
Yes, sir. So we have seen that basically in all the papers we have seen there is some security key mechanism is used, but there are several disadvantages also, like they have not considered replay attacks, or they have high computational time, or they lack efficient mechanism for encryption, or the encryption time is very high. Such cons we have seen in the papers. There are some more papers which are based on blockchain also, IoT also, which provide data management using cloud servers. So through the literature review, we have found out problem statement that the traditional methods have mutual authentication, but the encryption is not that strong, or maybe they have high computational time, and in the high computation time there is no method for blocking such users also. So we have, from these problem statement, we have defined the objectives in which we have combined mutual authentication with AES encryption for faster encryption, and we have introduced dynamic revocation for quick user blocking and improved attack resistance. This is our methodology in which we are taking input modules. This can be data owner registrations and logins. This can be IoT devices or smart users. And then we will upload the files and perform AES encryption. After that, it will be stored on respective clouds because it is multi-server. So there are several clouds, cloud server 1, 2, 3 and 4, etc. And then there is a trust manager which evaluates if the user is authentic or not, if it has a positive or negative feedback about the user. Then a mutual authentication, which is basically the uploading and the server will communicate with each other, giving an authentication that the file has been uploaded successfully, or if it has been encrypted or not. It will give such authentications messages, and there will be a key agreement with that. So there are two kinds of encryption in this. One is AES and other is key agreement also. Then there is dynamic revocation mechanism to block the users which try to attack the server environment. Then other users can go for file request, decryption and output module. This is the implementation part where there is a data owner, cloud consumer and trust manager, and the server environment is shown like a simulation here, and the data will be uploaded, and whatever steps can be performed in the specific implementation is mentioned here. Similarly, for data owner, the owner can upload the file, verify data, find cloud trust, find type of attacker also, and similarly the cloud consumer can also request for file, and they can also check cost and how much memory is available with that server. That can also be checked in the implementation. So in the results we have seen that the encryption time is improved, where we are taking mutual authentication with a simple key-based random key encryption, and in our work, mutual authentication with AES encryption. Similarly, authentication time is also improved in our work, and attack resistance score is also improved, in which we have considered Deepfake attack, and we have seen attack for changes in name and contents of the paper, of the document uploaded in the server. Here we conclude this presentation with the improvements by combining mutual authentication and AES encryption, and we have overcome a few disadvantages of the previous protocols, and significant improvement is seen in attack resistance and encryption time. For future scope, we can also combine this with edge computing networks and IoT scenario, or we can provide some machine learning algorithm with this. These are the references, few of the references which we have considered in a paper.
So what is the major advantage of ABES that you have applied?
High speed, because it is having a simpler encryption of one key for encryption and decryption. So it is having a high speed.
So we can understand previous technology has low speed encryption.
Some of them, they don't have a combination of this effect, because it is having a combined synergistic effect of each of the algorithm which we have combined, like the dynamic revocation, like in multi-server we have used AES with mutual authentication and key agreement. So it is a combined effect of improvement.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Dear author, for sharing your research work. Now, author with the paper ID 7 and 57 is so on stage to start with the presentation.
Good morning everyone, my name is Janish Kumar Adya. I'm a third year student at Computational University, and today's topic is vision-based hand gesture recognition for assistive communication. So this system is
There are a
designed.
lot of researchers in graphic, huh? 20 students. Good.
So this system is designed to help deaf and mute individuals to communicate by recognizing their hand gestures and converting them into speech or text. We use natural. So we use image processing and neural networks and GSM technology to make this project possible. Can you communication is essential for our daily lives, but millions of deaf and mute individuals struggles to communicate with people who do not understand sign languages. So there are existing solutions, but some of them are very expensive or not practically possible. And so we, with this system, fills this gap by using camera for recognizing the hand gesture and then converting them into spoken words or text using artificial intelligence. And with this system, we enhance the accessibility and the independence of the people who are having hearing and speech disability. Can we have next? So, sir, our goal is simple. We just wanted to create a better system to get capture the hand movements in real time and to convert those hand gestures into speech or text. And last, we want to make communication accessible and easy for deaf and mute community. We aim to minimize the communication gap for those who use sign language and those who do not. So, before designing this research, before designing this system, we studied different research and we found three major problems. First is limited data set. Many models do not perform well because they have been trained on small data set or they have been trained on limited data set. And second, we have got the accuracy issue. Because recognition of hand gesture is difficult because sometimes there are some environment conditions like lighting conditions and different background conditions. So we have different conditions. So there is a difficulty for getting the accuracy on different environment. And third, we get adaptability because most of the systems only work for the specific sign languages and they are not very much flexible. So our approach uses this flow diagram. First in the capture we use a webcam which will capture the real time hand gestures, and in the pre-processing we use OpenCV to clean and enhance the data for better accuracy, and then in the feature extraction we use CNN which will analyze the image and then find a key pattern because CNN are good neural network technique to analyze the patterns. And next, in the classification and output, we convert the captured gesture into a spoken language or a text form. And at the end also, we also implemented GSM integration so that the person can communicate through mobile network as well. So these are the results. So we tested our model and we got great results. As you can see, we got 95.5% accuracy, and our graph is also showing that in the validation and training, the accuracy is improving steadily and with a low loss.
You have evaluated your system only using one parameter accuracy, and you are saying that it is outperforming. So it is justifiable. The accuracy कोई हम कहकर अपने मॉडल को कह रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, और पैरामीटर्स क्यों नहीं दिया?
I will consider that.
Which activation function and loss function you have employed in that while you are using CNN?
So
Activation function and loss function.
So we use
Data set का size भी था.
Yes, sir. So actually, sir, many of the researchers use the ASL, which is American Sign Language, but we are specifically working for the Indian Sign Language. So different regions have different sign language and body language.
Thank you, dear author, for sharing your research work. Now, author with the paper ID 798. Please come on stage to start the presentation.
Is there any technical issue?
So I have to convert it to PPT.
Meanwhile, we can proceed with another also. If you take taking time.
So please convert your PDF into PPT.
नया होता है बाय चांस तो फिर पीडीएफ भी प्रेजेंटेशन का
Now author the paper ID 187. Please come on stage to start the presentation.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. So, my name is Ashish Kumar and I am from Southern University. So, this work is done by my students. So, unfortunately, they are not there. So, I am presenting their work. So, our topic is the enhancing security and transparency in video conferencing system through blockchain integration. So, nowadays, we are very aware that video conferencing is very popular nowadays in various sectors. For example, like education sector, healthcare sector, financial sector, everywhere we have rely on the video conferencing. But however, there are some certain vulnerability securities or significant risks. So our research is based on how blockchain technology provides the better security in the video conferencing. Please go ahead. So introductions about nowadays. 300 million daily users globally use the video conferencing, enables seamless remote work, collaboration, productivity, efficiency. But somewhere there is a issues related to the securities, and I'll discuss the major real-time examples. Just go ahead. So there are challenges in the current video conferencing system, that is traditional video conferencing system suffer from centralized database vulnerability. I am taking example of Zoom, I am taking example of Google Meets, I am taking example of Skype. So those are working on the centralized database. And it is very vulnerable because if any hacker easily attacks on the centralized. Second challenge is the unauthorized access due to the weak credentials. Talking about the Zoom, Google Meet, lack of end-to-end encryption, and the last is the inadequate security controls. Next, please. So these two are the case study real-time examples. First is the analysis of the 2022 Zoom breaches, in which Zoom lost over 50 million username and passwords. With that, user breaches confidentiality by attackers during virtual meeting, and in the year 2023 January, fake Zoom apps were being distributed cyber criminal to give malware. Once installed, a banking browser attempt to steal sensitive information. Next case study is the Google Meet flaws, in which security flaws allows unauthorized access to Google Meet call. So background of this issue is related to the use by many organizations for virtual meeting and online collaborations, in which without any invitations, unauthorized access easily to hack that system. So on the basis of these flaws, we are working and we propose a model in which we have to provide security to the blockchain technology. Next. So why the blockchain technology is used in our research? First one feature is the decentralized nature, because blockchain working on the decentralized, where it is not possible for hacker to steal the information from one node, because our system are working on the decentralized, multiple nodes are there, so that user data are stored in the different platforms. Second is the enhanced authentication with the smart contract. So in our research paper, with the help of MetaMask. So MetaMask is the crypto wallet in which we have to use the authorized access with the help of the smart contracts. Next is the end-to-end encryption with the immutable reports. What does that mean of immutables? Once the data is stored in the blockchain network, that data is not modified. It is the best feature of the blockchain technology that is called as a immutable records. And with the help of MetaMask, with the help of smart contract, we provide the access control and the transparency. That means only the authorized person can access their data. Next, please. So this is our proposed methodology related to the video conferencing. Whenever the user or any person wants to connect with the video conferencing, firstly they are registered itself with the MetaMask ID. So once both parties are registered with the MetaMask IDs, their IDs are stored in the blockchain. So with the help of blockchain, with the help of Ethereum address, we generate the digital signature, and that digital signature is verified in the both hands. Once the digital signal is verified, that means somewhere both parties are interconnected and communicate with each other. So features like when we create the meeting, user create the meeting, in which added user in meeting, meeting ID details saved in database, meeting ID and user ID is stored in the blockchain. Once the IDs are stored in the blockchain, that is immutables. So from that perspective, that means somewhere we provide the transparency, only the authorized user can access their data. Next.
What can we say about the scalability on these number of IDs?
So right now we are working that features because our right now we are working just provide onto the single platform. So in the next paper system काम कर रहे हैं हम लोग students काम कर रहे हैं तो वो इसी पे scalability interoperability इसको बोला जाता है. Next. So these are the implementations and applications. So in the user instance login, user can register by inputting details which are then validated and saved with the help of the MetaMask ID. Then the dashboard, after the login, users see a dashboard with the option of input details, validate details and accessing. So validate details with the help of the cryptographic keys. One is the private key and another is the public key. So suppose I want to create a meeting. So it depends upon me which user ID I have to accept or have to remove. So this is the major perspective regarding the methodology. Next. So right now student अभी यही इतना ही काम किया और those students belonging to the third year students इतना ही सभी लोगों को
Can I ask a question? You share an article about Zooms. How your system can be helpful for not generating any fake apps?
So फेक ऐप जो हमारा काम ऐसे नहीं करेगा, जो भी कोई फेक ऐप अगर काम करता है तो सबसे पहले हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम एक इसमें इथेरियम वॉलेट का यूज कर रहे हैं और वो डिजिटल सिग्नेचर की हेल्प से काम कर रहा है। तो डिजिटल सिग्नेचर में क्या होगा, जब भी कोई एक्सेस करना चाहेगा तो डिजिटल सिग्नेचर पहले वेरीफाई करेगा दोनों एंड पर। तो दोनों एंड पर जब डिजिटल सिग्नेचर वेरीफाई होगा तभी उसको एक्सेस मिलेगा, अदरवाइज वो वहीं डिनाई कर देगा, वो ब्लॉकचेन में आने ही नहीं देगा। तो इसी वजह से इसका सबसे मेन इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है इम्यूटेबिलिटी, जो ट्रांसपेरेंसी प्रोवाइड करता है, हर एक यूजर को दिखेगा और ऐसे नहीं कोई अगर कोशिश भी करेगा तो पहले ही वो डिनायल कर देगा।
एक क्वेश्चन था, ये जो आप सिक्योर कर रहे हैं, आप सिक्योरिंग द आईडी नॉट द वीडियो, जैसे यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सिक्योरिटी ऑफ द वीडियो कंटेंट, बेसिकली यू आर सिक्योरिंग द एक्सेस राइट टू द वीडियो, दैट इज सिक्योरिंग द authentication of right. But sometimes you want to secure the video, then you have to look for some other.
So sir, जब उसमें यूजर्स ही आ जाएंगे तो जब वो भी हमारा डेटा रहेगा वो तो कॉन्फिडेंशियल रहेगा, चाहे वीडियो रिलेटेड हो या कोई भी प्रेजेंटेशन से रिलेटेड हो, ओनली ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन कैन एक्सेस दैट डेटा। So somewhere कहीं ना कहीं हम secure.
Thank you, dear author, for sharing your research work. The author with the paper ID 798, please come up on stage.
798. इसके बाद बाकी 3 है।
Providing on-demand services over the internet, as cloud computing. Environment, and collaboration, which has become extremely important in the past pandemic world. Background details: understanding cloud concept, essential characteristics of cloud computing, on-demand services, background, note, requirement model of cloud computing. Requirement model, public, private and hybrid model. Service models of cloud computing, SaaS, PaaS and IaaS.
These headings are depicting that it is just a theoretical part about the cloud computing. What additional and what exploration you have done in this particular bit? This is the journal note. We are seeing the previous slide. So these are the journal headings. We can say these are the notes, class notes of the related to cloud computing. So what additional you are offering in this particular research paper? Any analysis? Any come to that slide. Still these parts.
No, next page.
Any case study you have done? Previous slide? Yeah, please explain this.
Analysis of growth of market in the previous year, मतलब जो growth जो market की growth है वो सर year by year increase हुई है.
So आप ये कह रहे हैं कि cloud computing is important. यही आप बता रहे हैं ना, लेकिन इसका आपको लिटरेचर सब्जेक्ट एनालिसिस करता हूँ वो आप पेपर में नहीं है जो आपको इंक्लूड करना है. रिसर्च पेपर में your contribution is also important. Then it is available in the book while you go for the research paper. तो आप किस year second year किस कॉलेज में? मतलब इसमें लिटरेचर सर्वे का आप टेबल में उसके बाद ये रिसर्च पेपर में
Thank you, dear author, for sharing your research note. Now, author with the paper ID 187. Please come on stage.
Done.
Done. Now, author with the paper ID 480.
नहीं अभी 798 तो 480
480 नहीं हुआ. You are from the same college?
So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Yash. I am pursuing BTech CSE from my industry. Today I am here to show my research on optimizing VM migration.
In which year you are studying?
Sorry. VM migration prediction based on CPU usage. So this is the structure I am going to follow. First I will give the brief introduction along with the better knowledge and literature survey, and then I will briefly explain the methodology, implementation, and will show you the graph and the visuals, and finally conclude with the conclusion and future scope. So firstly, cloud computing is a very cloud computing is basically very useful in today's world. We can see it is used in the streaming platforms and e-commerce websites. But however, due to the inefficient resource allocation, leads to the high optimization cost along with more energy waste. So our research tackles this problem. So the key contributors is a novel framework. We combine the 4 different models: XGBoost, random forest, gradient boosting, and KNN, along with the ensemble techniques, stacking, voting, and planning. So let me tell you what is a VM. Basically, it is the process of moving virtual machines between physical hardware and balancing the workload. It is critical for reducing the downtime and energy consumption. There are some challenges in the traditional system which use a static threshold and single model predictions which leads to poor generalization due to the insufficient data or the noise in the real data like CPU usage and the network latency. So role of ensemble learning combines multiple models to reduce the bias, variance, and improve the accuracy. The existing works use the rule-based system as I said, limited adaptability, single machine learning models like SVM decision trees are used, which have very low accuracy with approximately 50% R-square scores, and reinforcement learning for real-time policy adaptation. There are some researchers who identified that there is a lack of focus on the time series CPU usage pattern, and which are limited use of the ensemble methods for VM migration. So we have taken the dataset GW8T13 Materna from Kaggle, and we have done a pre-process the data by removing the outliner using IQR method, add some temporal features, hours, day, and work, including the historical CPU usage for approx 10, 20, 30 minutes prior. And these are the models we have used, and we have used the RMSE, R-square, and MAE for the evaluation metrics. For so that the result, we use the tools like Python, CICTN, XGBoost, and MATLAB for plotting the graphs. These are the result. We can see that random forest is the best among the individual models. From the result, we can see with the RMSE score 0.0752, and our score of 91.68%, which is the best, and with the voting ratio of best ensemble, our score is 63.8%. And Ken is the worst performer because it was more data, and that data does not contain any more details. They require high performance. So next slide, I will show you the graph. These two graphs comparison, that the true and the predicted value, random forest and voting regrets perform the best. Canon perform the worst. This is the predicted value approx, and true CPU usage was that. So in conclusion, basically ensemble learning, voting ratio outperforms the single models, and random forest achieve 91.68% accuracy. So this reduces the cloud operational cost by 20 to 30%, and similar to the energy efficiency. So basically, in future scope we are going to include LSTM deep learning models for time series forecasting, and we'll test them on the multiple clouds. The practical application we can see in the e-commerce traffic site, like their ingredient base in Flipkart and other sales, there is high traffic. So we need to maintain the balance in them.
I have done my MTech one on this same topic, energy optimization in cloud computing using VM migration. So I am using CloudSync tool. Which tool you have used? Implementation part?
So implementation, we have taken the data set which is already present in the table, sir.
See, I have used the simulating environment for cloud. You are seeing virtual machine is hosted on the data center. So these kind of cloud environment simulation is done on that cloud tool. So which tool you have employed in this particular paper for the implementation part?
सर ये basically जो सर डाटा सेट अवेलेबल था वो basically पहले से मतलब और टूल्स के ऊपर टेस्टेड था. Basically प्रायर हमने उसका हिस्ट्री वगैरह चेक कर ली 10-20-30 मिनट्स प्रायर
एनालिसिस किया है.
हाँ बेसिकली एनालिसिस करनी जो एक्चुअली 30 मिनट्स प्रायर अगर आपको इंडिकेशन दे दे कि VM की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है कि वर्चुअल मशीन अगर कम यूसेज ले रही है तो हम उसको ज़्यादा स्टोरेज देके ज़्यादा एनर्जी की कंज्यूम करें.
And when we are doing the analysis of this VM migration, must mention the energy consumption in kilowatt hour of data centers. Okay, so you should take energy consumption in the evaluation method. It is must. Thank you.
Dear author, considering the research work, the author is the paper ID 498. Please come on stage to start with the presentation.
217 is not present.
No.
Please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. The topic of my research paper is a comprehensive analysis of IoT and IoT security attacks, understanding the threat landscape. First time. In this presentation, I will be concluding all the literature survey I have done. On the basis of that, the number of security attacks I have identified in the IoT network, the conclusion and the references.
From where, which organization you are?
Sir, I am from NetworkingCICTN.
Okay, this is your PhD publication.
Yes.
So this is, I think this is the very first paper that you are presenting literature survey. We come to the major conclusion or research gaps that you find from this literature survey. Skip the theory part.
So first, what I have identified is that there have been many architectures present for the IoT. So there has been not a single architecture that we can work on. Every time they have changed the architecture, like there has been a 3-layer architecture. On the basis of application, they have moved to the service-based architecture. So there has been different architectures on the basis of domain area we are working in the IoT. On the basis of that, our proposed stack will be changing. For example, we have been using, and you can show some of the services that you will see using application program for some of the services, where the data constraints, the data we are collecting from all the IoT devices will be very constant. On the basis of it, the detection algorithm will be changing. My research work would be not detecting all the security attacks, some of the security attacks.
And it means you are saying that you have explored many models that are catering one of these, and you are offering, you will offer later on in your PhD work a model that will cater all these in a
We
one go.
take some of the in one go only.
Please proceed.
So the problem which I have faced in this is I have collected all the data sets, IoT data sets, and that we are working on for now. The problem is we are capturing the data, the network traffic is being analyzed. Some of the attacks have been done on the major traffic, like we can separate the benign and the those other defective or affected nodes. We are being able to describe all of them. These are the benign nodes, these are the malicious nodes. But we are working on how to detect them in a one go. So majorly the IoT attacks is being carried out on the basis of how much malicious traffic we are taking on and at what intensity they have been sending all the threat packets to the different computers to get them infectious also. So problem would be satisfying to detect all the attacks in the IoT environment, but on the basis of how the network has been transferred from one IoT device to the another IoT device. In this, only the node that has been affected with it, that they have taken control over it, that will be detected on the basis of how attacker is being sending the malicious packet to the particular nodes in the network. Detection would be taking anomaly-based detection or signature-based detection. But in the signature-based detection, they have already defined that this was the signature of the attack. It would be taking so, and on the basis of they have detected many of the algorithms are already present. So we are not working on the signature-based algorithm. We would be working on the anomaly-based detection, where we would be checking what the attacker has been sending at the sending phase only. Like in the IoT life cycle of the attacks, we have been 7 stages. We are trying to work on the waiting stage only. When someone is sending the malicious packets, then only we can detect all the malicious packets at the front end. So these are the security attacks I have identified in the IoT network. Malicious code injection attacks on the physical layer. Malicious code is basically can be done with the two things. First, they are injecting the malicious code with the help of network. Other, they have been using the database for injecting the code. They have been making changes into the SQL statements to inject the code, just like the SQL injection attacks. They have been inserting the malicious SQL codes into the SQL query. Next is civil attacks. Civil attackers, they have been identifying the multiple nodes which are exploited by the single malicious node. Malicious code they will be sending to the multiple hosts so that they can get infected. Next is selective forwarding attack. In this, selectively they drop the packet into the network. This packet needs to be go to this channel, and so that we can affect that part of the channel. Next is DDoS attack. Mainly we have DDoS attacks. DDoS attacks are majorly used to carry out the botnet attacks. In the IoT realm, we will see the botnet attacks has been making the network very much malicious. So DDoS attack and botnet attacks would be the main focus of my research. DDoS attacks, if we will see all the IoT attacks that has been carried out by the year, we can see the DDoS attacks and botnet attacks are the major part, while the attackers are been using only these kind of attacks to carry out the malicious activity in the whole network, and to vulnerabilities used to capture all the nodes that are present. Next are the spoofing, malicious scripts, and eavesdropping and zero-day attack. They have been the conclusion of like DDoS attacks. The main focus would be DDoS and the botnet attacks.
Can you mention the 3 robust future direction that you have found from this particular literature survey, जिसको आप अपने research objectives बनाते आगे काम कर सकते हैं?
So majorly what I have done in this is the 2 attacks that are mainly being used by the malicious actors to carry out the attack. Those are DDoS attacks. And then further, if you will use the DDoS attack at the large scale, it will be converted into a botnet attack. The major botnet attacks we have heard till now is the Mirai botnet attack. They has taken maximum number of nodes in the millions and is carried out on a frequency of some MBs. So the botnet attack and the DDoS attacks, they have been carried out regularly. Many algorithm has been given by the researchers to detect all these attacks, to mitigate them or to identify them. I would be working on detecting it at the initial stage. initial stage is when the attacker is sending some of the malicious posts to the different networks. At that time, if I could identify them, then we can tell others to, or we can make some mitigation strategies over there only, so that the network will not get affected. So it would be completely in the waiting phase. When the bots are waiting for some commands from the attacker, then we will be identifying on the basis of what kind of pattern a attacker has been using to send them to the different bots or nodes he has taken over.
And dear author, for share your research work. Now, author with the paper ID 217 is absent, right?
117.
कोई करेगा छोड़ दो मैंने डाला ना फोन आ गया सामने ये दिव्या मैम का क्या सब लिंक भेज दीजिए
वो IT डिपार्टमेंट कनेक्ट करता
अच्छा रिजल्ट मारेगा फिर मैंने यहाँ भी इसी नहीं डाला था
नहीं अपनी करा देना पेपर लिमिटेड उनका कॉन्फ्रेंस का पहला सीरीज 100 पेपर ही
We now come to an important part of the event, the certificate distribution ceremony. Now, this is a moment to recognize and appreciate the effort and contribution of our participants. I request Dr. Rohit Vasan sir and Dr. Sasank Rao sir to kindly join us in distributing the certificate. Now, paper ID 431. Please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Now, paper ID with 757, please come on stage to receive their certificate. Paper ID 798, please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Now paper ID with 418, please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Author with the paper ID 187, please come on stage for receiving their certificate. Congratulations to all. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, now I request Ms. Swetha ma'am to kindly present the token of appreciation. Ma'am, please. Please give them.
And I just want to say, congratulations and appreciation to the students, especially, who are coming here for the presentation. And it is very encouraging the second year students, first year students are preparing the research paper and participating in the conference. It is really it is appreciated, and my good wishes to continue with their future, provide a very good research paper.
thought process was very good and innovative.
Especially for students.
प्रतीत प्रतीत
बहुत मंथ पहले से